Robert Conway speaking.
Dad.
Catherine, again, I'm sorry
Do
that
you know how foolish you made me look tonight?
Why don't you come over?
I had to explain to my superior that my father was found in the same house that we think Charlotte May was tied up in. That the reason why we have no good footprints is because my father's tire marks are littered across an open crime scene. I'll be very surprised if I still have a job tomorrow morning.
That wasn't my intention.
No?
You know full well why I had to.
You can't just do whatever you want and think it won't affect other people. What if she'd press charges?
Lady Doer gave me her permission.
You could have ruined my case.
It's not just your case. There are other ways to prove yourself. You can't be so blind as to think you can do it all on your own. The real test of one's character is learning when to ask for help.
Jeez. And that's what you've been doing? Asking for my help? It seems as though you're hell-bent on being the one to find her.
Well, the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree.
No, it's still very much in the tree's shadow.
What are we arguing about? We both care about Charlotte May. We both want to help Tony Morgan.
It's my job to help Tony Morgan. What you've done is against the law.
You said it yourself. There weren't any charges against me.
You don't get it, do you? Your actions might have gotten Charlotte May killed.
What if it was you down there? Would you want me to stop, to respect people's privacy, to follow the law?
That's not fair.
Well, it's all I had. The vision of a young girl who needed my help. And all I saw was your face. Someone needed to do what had to be done, no matter the cost.
There's always a cost. Isn't there, Dad?
I wish I could make Catherine understand my actions. Every time I try, I either embarrass her or myself. There's always a cost. Last night, my neighbors watched in merriment as Catherine had to rescue me from Lady Doer's basement. If the bruises on my body are anything to go by, then I'm clearly making an impression on someone in Dahlia View. I've lost too much to stop now. But will Catherine ever forgive me? Shirley is doing something in a safe. I'm not sure what. Don't give up hope. I'm still looking. She's just sitting, smoking at the moment. Not really doing. Hang on. She's seen or heard something. What in God's name? Is there someone inside with her? My attacker? Something smashed. My attacker is in there as I speak. Shirley, don't do this alone. Trust me. I know how this ends. Turn around and leave. Shirley, be careful. Even if I leave now, I won't get to her in time. Christ. She's searched the whole place. It doesn't look like she's seen anyone. She's leaving. Good. She's safe for now, at least. No one has a clue what's happening. Even Tony Morgan. He's seen something. Something in the alleyway. Dear God, she's been attacked. Be careful, Mr. Morgan. It might not be safe.
Somebody call the police. Anybody, please. There's been another attack.
Mr. Morgan, you take her to the hospital. I'll call the police. Right. Enough time should have passed. Maybe I can get into the crow's nest without anyone seeing me. I'll call the police when I'm good and ready. This belongs to Shirley. It must have fallen off during the attack. This must be the smash I heard. What kind of a coward attacks someone from behind? Are you still here? This is where Mr. Morgan and Theo joined the search. It's been days. It's unlikely that please still be alive. She must have been cooking when the attacker arrived. Hello. You can't hide anymore. Is anyone here? No. Well, at least I can look around without keeping an eye over my shoulder. There's a lot going on around Riverport. The town's moving on. Nothing here. Not sure what I was expecting. There's nowhere to hide this time. Oh, Jesus! I suppose you think that was funny, jumping out at me like that. You have no idea how close I was to talking to a bloody pigeon. Jesus, what happened here? Shot at me? Not with all the police present, surely. Bard means bard. I'm glad I'm not on Shirley's bad side. So this is what the police call looking for Charlotte May. This is why I don't gamble. Locked. I don't think I can pick this type of lock. I might need to find a key. This is the smash that Shelley and I heard. I should be able to get around it. Prices are steep. It's a wonder she has any customers at all. Let's see. Larry sounds like a charming fellow. A handle of some kind. There must be something to do with the pub. It looks like a staff note. They haven't hooked up all the beer taps by the sound of it. I have an idea where to look, at least. Well, probably nothing inside it, but worth a look all the same. Oh, it's locked.
Shirley was holding this when the attacker was here. It's the one from Lady Doer's house. She mustn't have got a good enough price from Terence Trilby.
So the magnetic door can be turned off with the breaker switch in the delivery room. Someone's left their keys on the pool table light. Got you. This will come in handy. Catherine's trying her best to fit in. It looks as though the police padlocked these doors. I doubt I'll find any keys for them. I'll have a use for you. Could be useful. police evidence board. What? The Mckees hit a dog. It makes sense. And Levy was diluting oils, among other things. Catherine said as much, and I didn't listen. I should look a little closer at this. I wonder what she told them about me. There must be an embarrassment to her. All the more reason to find that little girl and prove myself. Circumstantial? Damn the law. They know full well what they found. They're just not allowed to act on it without more evidence. It looks like they have a fine coming their way. Poor dog. No wonder they tried to hide it. So, he's guilty after all. Just not for the abduction of Charlotte May by the looks of things. I hope they get that warrant soon. And what's this? Evidence I haven't seen. No wonder I'm pulling at straws. Well, just as I thought. There was something here. Why have they removed it? Oh, this was smashed during the attack. Some of my neighbors claim to have heard it. Well, that's what I have too. Shirley thinks that this Larry fellow could have been involved. He sounded too drunk when I heard him. This is good stuff. The place is a goldmine for my evidence board.
The information in these police booths might shed some much-needed light on my investigation, if I can find a way into them.
They're busier than I thought. Catherine's been working hard. Basically what the newspaper said. Now, who would be calling on a Sunday morning? It might be worth answering. Hello, the Crow's Nest.
Oh, thank God. I was worried Shirley might answer. My name's William Crow.
Yes, Mr. Crow. What is it I can do for you?
I'm sorry, officer. I wanted to speak to one of you yesterday, but I lost my nerve. Oh, sorry. I'm the pub owner of the Crow's Nest.
Really? I thought that Shirley was the owner.
No. She has a habit of telling people that, but she just manages the place.
Is that so?
Can I talk to you about something, officer?
Well,
Listen, I don't want Shirley to get into trouble, but I've got to get it off my chest.
Go ahead.
Well, I saw her do something yesterday whilst I was locking up.
Go on.
Oh, God. She took something from your evidence room. I don't know what, and I don't care to find out, but I can tell you where she put it.
I think that would be a good idea, son.
You promise me she won't get into any trouble?
I'll have a word with her and leave it at that. As long as you tell me where it is, I think we're all good, Mr. Crow.
Thank you, officer. You're a good man.
Yeah, so where do I look?
The pillar that Officer Foster put his fist through the other night? You know the one?
Yes. And again, we're sorry about the mess.
Hey, I'm a sore loser at darts myself. I just hope his hand's okay. Anyway, we put up a poster to cover the hole, so that's where she hid it.
Mr. Crow, could you do me a favor and stay on the line whilst I check?
Sure thing.
So there's a poster covering a hole in a pillar. Are these all kidnappings from the past? No. I wonder if any of them are related to Charlotte May. It would take a lifetime to read through them all. Looks like this note's been flagged by an officer. Shirley knows how to put on a song and a dance. I already know she's a liar and a thief. She gets more and more interesting every time. So Mr. Crow was right. Shirley stole this from the police evidence room. What on earth was she thinking? This does not look like the behavior of an innocent woman. I'd better tell him that I found it. Mr. Crow?
You found it?
Yes. Thank you very much for coming to us with this.
You're welcome. And between you and me, I think Shirley's up to something. I don't want the pub's good name dragging through the mud if I'm right.
Well, you did the right thing.
Good. Oh, and she obviously found a way into your case rooms. Don't ask me how. If you need a place to store any evidence, then you can use my locker in the room just to your right. Not sure how safe it is for you, but it's something.
That's very kind of you. I think I will take that code.
Sure thing. It's 8068.
You've been a great help to us, Mr. Crow. Thank you again.
My pleasure, officer. And please, go easy on her.
Good day, Mr. Crow.
Good day.
Impersonating an officer. I'm going to burn in hell for that one. Congratulations. Now I know how to change a beer barrel. A spare pipe of some kind. Way ahead of you. Right, I've done that. Attached. What next? That sounded like a good strong click to me. Turned and on. What a waste. Well, whatever gets me to that fuse board. Fair enough. This looks like the stock delivery I've just destroyed. I hope it wasn't too expensive. Very interesting. Now, let's see if those office doors have opened. She has everyone convinced that she owns the place. She's a compulsive liar. You already know Shelley's a thief. I don't feel bad about this at all.
I thought I saw you come in here.
Mr. Morgan,
What on earth are you doing, Mr. Conway?
I'm looking for Charlotte May. I told you I'd stop at nothing to find her.
Indeed you did. And you breaking into Shirley's pub is your way of doing that?
Do you really want to know?
I'm not sure I do.
Though I could ask you the same thing. What are you doing here, Mr. Morgan?
Well, when I saw you come over here, I couldn't do it any longer.
Do what?
Let other people act for me. Sit on my bottom whilst my daughter... It's a father's responsibility to protect his child, and I should have...
Mr. Morgan, not everybody is cut out for this. It's fully understandable if you're not... Well...
You see what I mean? You can't bring yourself to say it. I'm a coward, and it's shameful.
I don't think you're a coward.
Then tell me what I can do. Let me prove it to you. Let me help in some way with... What is it you're doing exactly?
You can help by making your way back home and letting...
Robert, please.
Very well. The flat, upstairs. Obviously I can't search it myself, so... perhaps you can shed some light up there.
Thank you. And please, you only have to say if I'm putting you out.
We will need to hurry, Mr. Morgan.
Understood.
Oh, by the way, how is Shirley Downs? Has she been treated?
Yes, the doctor said she was fine. She'll be released later today.
Did she say who attacked her?
No, she didn't say.
Damn. Well, thank you for that, anyway.
That's fine, Mr. Conway. So what am I looking for up here?
Anything that looks interesting or out of the ordinary, I suppose.
I'm not sure if this counts, but there's a locked door up here.
What's so strange about that?
Well, it's locked, but there's no keyhole.
That is strange. Anything else?
There's a panel on the side, if that helps. It looks like it might open somehow.
Perhaps. Leave it with me. I'll find a way in.
Switches behind the desk. This is where I've been searching. The upstairs is in the top right. People really are moving on. Something opened in this room. This soldering iron might come in handy.
Now, what's this then? Should work. Let's see if the switch... Mr. Morgan?
Yes?
Try that door again. I think I might have cracked it.
It's open. How did you do that?
I have my ways. Could you tell me what's inside?
It's a safe.
I thought as much.
Probably the pub takings, I would imagine.
Probably, yes. I'll keep it in mind. Let me know if you find a key for it.
I will do. Mr. Conway,
Yes.
this all feels a little... well, now that I'm here, I feel a little uncomfortable doing this.
Well, do you want to find your daughter?
I'll keep looking.
Oh, the last orders bell. This is from Lady Doer's home. She was right to hide her belongings under the floorboards. Shirley has light fingers. I'm going to need something to pick this open.
Mr. Morgan?
You can call me Tony, you know.
Of course, I'm sorry. There's a music box down here. It's identical to her sister's. Is there anything up there that I might be able to use as a pick?
Okay. What would I need to look for?
Something small enough to fit into a lock.
Like a small screwdriver?
Smaller than that. Like a needle I can bend or a piece of wire.
Where would you like me to begin?
Bear with me 1 second. I should use the blueprint on Shirley's desk to guide Mr. Morgan. It has the whole of the upstairs mapped out. I'm ready to guide you. Are you ready to look?
Okay, I'm ready.
This is where I've been searching. The upstairs is in the top right.
Is the wardrobe unlocked?
Looking now. There's a coat hanger.
Perfect. Can you throw it down to me?
Will do. Can you come to the stairs?
I'm ready. Missed it. One moment. I've got it. Thank you. Good. That worked.
Oh, good. Anything useful?
I'll let you know. Anything on your end?
No, not yet. By the way, I saw you last night with the police. What was all that about?
You mean the police haven't told you?
Told me what?
For God's sake, Catherine. It's probably nothing, but I thought that Charlotte may have been in Lady Doa's home.
What? You saw my Charlotte?
No, and I may very well have been mistaken.
I don't understand. You... Why didn't the police tell me?
They mustn't have found enough evidence. They didn't believe me.
Do you think she was there?
Perhaps. But I have no proof. I'm sorry. That's why I'm continuing my search. Is everything all right?
Let's carry on, Mr. Conway.
I think that safe might be important after all.
Really?
How does it open?
I did look, but give me a second. It takes a key of some kind, and there's a dial for a combination.
Do you have anything to use as a pick?
I gave the hanger to you. I can get another one, though.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to throw you something.
All right. I'm at the stairs waiting.
Apologies. I don't know my own strength.
Not to worry. I can see it. Thank you.
Right. I'll try and find a code. Annabelle, 30 this year.
She's far less organized than her sister. Shirley is after something for Annabelle's birthday. Well, I don't have to guess what she wanted from him.
Try this. 1, 9, 2, 4.
We're in. Well, at least the combination worked. I still have no idea what to do with this thing you threw to me.
We're going to pick that lock, Mr. Morgan.
Okay. And how on earth does one start that?
You see the hairpin?
I do.
Put that to one side. The other thing you have is called a tension wrench.
Okay.
Insert it into the lock near the bottom.
I've done that.
Now, this next part requires some patience.
Oh dear.
Put the coat hanger above the wrench and put it to the back of the lock. We're going to navigate around the lock by feel.
I'm not sure this is something I can do, Mr. Conway.
Yes, you can. Just try to be slow.
Okay. Blast! I'm sorry it slipped out.
Not to worry. Just start again.
Mr. Conway, I really don't think I can do this.
Trust me. Yes, you can.
Fine, I'll try again.
Let's try again.
Okay, I'll try. First one down.
You need to move the pick to the back of the lock. There are probably around 3 or 4 things to pick before you're done. Keep going.
Thank you. Second pin down.
Keep going. You're doing well.
That's 3 down.
You're almost there.
Thank you for your patience, Robert. I don't believe it. You did it. It's open.
Well done.
Right. Let's take a look inside. My dear God. I think this might be what you were looking for. This is hair. Maybe dried blood, too. Does this mean... I don't understand.
What's the matter?
It's the weapon with blood on it. Did you know this was here?
I can assure you I did not.
Then what does this mean, Mr. Conway?
It could mean anything. It's best not to jump to conclusions, at least until I've had a chance to examine it further.
Let me take a look. Perfect fit.
Where is my daughter, Mr. Conway? You promised you'd find her.
Mr. Morgan, let's find out together. After searching Shirley's pub, it's clear to me that she's a person of questionable morality. The glass shard that the police found matched the small telescope perfectly. I'm positive it was the weapon used to hit Tony Morgan, but I found no trace of Charlotte May. This is my last chance. I need to know a few more things before I accuse Shirley of anything. Shirley used Lady Doer's telescope to spy on the Morgans. Is there any evidence that places her in Lady Doer's home on the night that Charlotte May was taken? The only proof of an intruder at Shirley Downes's pub was a glass they may have smashed during the attack. Is it possible that there was no intruder? Is it possible the glass could have smashed in some other way? I've taken some excerpts from the police report I found. Can I use them to connect Shirley to the kidnapping? That's right, I'm onto something. Now, what does the rest of it mean? That's right, I'm onto something. Now to piece together the rest of it. That's it. By the police's account, Shirley had access to the same type of rope and chloroform of a sort. Match that with the telescope as an attack weapon, and I think I have all the means I need. I can even place her at the window watching over Charlotte May just minutes before she was taken. I spent so much time looking at the Mckees and Harold Levy. It's Shirley. It has to be. Dear God, I hope I'm not too late. Time to gather my neighbors and share my suspicions. Put an end to this once and for all. I was reaching the end of my investigation. No idea if Catherine could even look me in the eye. I'd promised Tony Morgan I'd find his daughter, and I'd betrayed my own in the process. Perhaps I should have listened to Catherine and left the investigation to the police. Perhaps Tony Morgan didn't need my help. Perhaps I'd failed everyone. Only time would tell, and Shirley Downes held the key. Catherine, thank you for coming.
What do you want, Dad? I told you I didn't want to...
I promise I'm not wasting your time.
What do you want?
Please, come inside. I have something you'll want to see.
You'll forgive me if I don't believe you.
Then why did you come?
It's my job to follow up all leads.
Then, please, I'll show you what I've been working on these past few days.
These past few days you promised me you weren't investigating again. Please don't humiliate me, Dad. Christ.
Here is the main event.
Thank you all for coming. I imagine you share some notion of why I asked you here. In short, to discuss the disappearance of Charlotte May, and also to apologize to each and every one of you. I'm sure you know by now that I've been investigating every possible area of her disappearance, and that has meant looking closely at Dahlia View.
You mean spying on us?
A crude interpretation, but yes.
That's illegal. Surely.
I've broken no laws, I can assure you.
That we know of. This is an invasion of privacy. You're a police officer. How can you let him do this?
It's not illegal to ask questions, Mrs. Mckee.
What about breaking and entering? How'd you feel about that? Hey?
Are you pressing charges, Mr. Levy?
I don't know why there's all this fuss.
We still need to address the fact that there's an attacker at
Let
large.
Mr. Conway speak. I'd rather like to see where this is going.
Well, with my apology out of the way, let's talk about what I've uncovered. Lady Doa, I thank you for permitting me to search your home, but on reflection, you really should pay more attention to whom you employ to clean your estate.
Hindsight is a blessing.
I don't think you had anything to do with Charlotte May's disappearance. It's a shame that your home was violated in such a way. Again, I extend my apologies that you've been dragged into this.
Water under the bridge, Mr. Conway.
Annabelle and Theo. The two of you clearly have problems of your own to work through.
The very nerve of you, Mr. Conway.
And you should have reported that dog that you hit with the car. It would have saved a lot of time, and perhaps we would have found Charlotte May by now. But I have no reason at all to think you could have taken Charlotte May.
I could have told you that if you'd asked.
I have nothing more to say to the two of you. Harold Levy. You don't like me very much. I can live with that. You said it yourself. As long as I pay my rent on time, we won't have a problem. In the future, it might do you well to extend that courtesy to neighbors going through certain hardships. Well, not every problem can be solved with your fists. I believe you owe Mr. Morgan an apology.
What's he talking about?
God knows.
Other than that, I found nothing to think you capable of such a terrible act as kidnapping a girl. I have nothing more for you.
Oh, that was a waste of time then.
And finally, we come to Shirley Downs, the second victim of our unknown perpetrator. A completely innocent bystander the night that Charlotte May was taken. The perfect alibi. Were it not all based on lies and deception?
Well then.
What? No, you all saw what happened to me.
Shirley, please, let us dispense with the song and dance.
Shirley? What is he talking about?
I have no idea, Annabelle. I can assure you of that. Just what on earth are you getting at, Mr. Conway?
I bloody know it. You've always been a dark horse.
Shut up. I had nothing to do with Charlotte May's disappearance, I promise you.
Mr. Conway, I think you might have made a mistake.
Catherine, would you mind?
Please, I think it's time we talk to Miss Downs alone. Could we have the room?
I think I should stay. She's my sister and she needs
Mrs. Mckee, please. Everyone, in fact. Leave now.
I think it's best you leave too, Mr. Morgan. Don't worry, I'll update you later on this evening once I know more.
Shirley,
I'll be fine, Annabelle. They're making a huge mistake. Just do as the police officer said.
I'm afraid that means you too, Mr. Levy.
No way. I would have missed this if you paid me.
Get out, you fool.
This what you wanted, was it?
How very disappointing. Good work, Mr. Conway.
Shirley, please, take a seat. Now, where should I begin?
Look, I don't know what this is about, but I think you made a huge mistake. I'm sorry. Catherine, is it? Can you talk some sense into him?
I think we should hear what he has to say.
This is ridiculous.
If you have nothing to hide, then surely you'd relish the chance to prove your innocence.
You watched me get attacked. That proves that the kidnapper is still out there.
Well, let's start there then, shall we? How will you explain this, I wonder?
Perhaps you want to explain how you found that, without breaking the law.
I'm sure it will come to that. But for now, we're talking about you. You have nothing to say? There's no getting around this, Shirley.
You're not listening. It wasn't me.
What do you have to say about this?
You've been watching me. Annabelle was right. This is an invasion of privacy.
Well, isn't that what you wanted?
What are you talking about?
Well, for someone to see your charade. The whole business with the so-called intruder. You set the whole thing up.
What a ridiculous thing to say. How could I have? Why would I?
You did it so that Tony Morgan would see you as the victim, and therefore not as his attacker. I saw you too. I'll admit, you were very convincing.
This is all in your mind, Mr. Conway. You have no evidence at all.
Well, we'll see. Let's continue, shall we?
What's that supposed to be?
Why don't you tell me? It was found in your pub.
So what? Lots of people drink there every day. Glasses smash. I don't know what's special about a piece of glass.
It sounds plausible.
Well, there you have it.
Well, Mr. Crow didn't seem to think so. He told me you took it from the police evidence room.
Prove it.
I intend to. I'm sure Mr. Crow will be willing to testify. Let's move on. Well, I suppose that's that. Catherine, is what you've heard enough to arrest Miss Downs?
I'm sorry, it's not conclusive enough, I'm afraid.
Well then, I suppose I was wrong. I should have gone with my gut and accused Annabelle.
What?
Again, I'm sorry I've wasted your time. Catherine, can you see if Annabelle is still close by?
Wait, Mr. Conway. What could you possibly think Annabelle has to do with this?
Well, I shouldn't discuss this with you, but all those late nights whilst Thea was gigging, no one able to verify her whereabouts. And then, of course, there's the matter of the, well, like I said, I shouldn't discuss this with you. I apologize, Miss Downs. Let's see if we have enough to arrest your sister.
Wait.
What is it?
For God's sake. I hid the telescope in my safe, but I was hiding it for someone else.
The truth, Shirley, or this conversation is over.
Okay, I hit Mr. Morgan, but I swear I thought he was someone else.
I'll see what your sister has to say about the
I'm
matter.
telling you the truth. Annabelle had nothing to do with it.
Where is Charlotte May?
I didn't take her. That's why I hid the telescope in the first place, so the police wouldn't suspect that I took her.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
I didn't take Charlotte May.
So let me get this straight. And it's very important that you're clear. You faked the attack against you.
Yes. I needed people to know that the kidnapper is still out there. I couldn't come forward and say what I'd done because people would think I took Charlotte May.
You took the shard of glass from the police evidence room.
Well, yes, because it proved that I hit Mr. Morgan. But I thought I was hitting Harold Levy.
The telescope is the attack weapon.
I I took it from Lady Dowa's hallway. I saw my sister having an affair from Lord Dowa's window. I was angry. I overreacted.
You attacked Tony Morgan.
I already told you. I thought I was hitting Harold Levy. He was kissing my sister, Annabelle. A married woman, Theo's wife.
I don't think even you can separate the truth from the lies anymore.
I'm not lying, Mr. Conway.
You took Charlotte May that night.
I did not.
Then you put her in Lady Dowa's basement. Why?
I'm not saying another word.
You knocked me from my chair, and then staged the attack on yourself to throw me off the scent.
That's all in your head.
Where is Charlotte May? Is that enough to arrest Miss Downs?
I believe so, yes.
Then I think I've heard just about all I need to.
Catherine, may I have a word?
Well, it looks like you were onto something after all.
Yes, it looks that way.
Let's wrap this up then, shall we?
Wait a moment. You see now what I was doing, what I had to do.
I do.
Well then, what's wrong? With a little more time, Shirley will tell us where Charlotte May is. You can arrest her. This is a good thing.
You lied to me. You betrayed my trust after you promised me. I'm so glad that you were right. I really am, but that doesn't change how you did it.
Catherine, we did it. You and I. I listened to what you said, and I truly am sorry. There were moments where I knew I was crossing a line, but I did it.
You've told me already.
And I meant it. Please. I'm going to update Mr. Morgan later on and tell him what we found. It would mean a lot to me if you were by my side. What do you say?
I don't think so, Dad. I'm sorry.
Catherine, please.
Miss Downs, I'm arresting you on suspicion of the abduction of Charlotte May Morgan and an attempt to obstruct an active and ongoing police investigation. You don't have to speak, but anything you do say might be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand your rights?
Shirley has confessed to almost everything I've thrown at her, but she's refused to give me the location of Charlotte May. I hope to God she's still alive. It's out of my hands and up to Catherine now. I've reached the end of my investigation. But at what cost? I promised Mr. Morgan I'd return this brooch when I found Charlotte May. The news of Shelley's arrest will have to do for now. Now that all's said and done, I suppose I should tidy all this away. I was hoping to return to Mr. Morgan with his daughter. Not this hollow gesture. I used to roam these halls and wonder what kind of neighbors lived around me. Now I know all too well. How will Mr. Morgan take the news, I wonder? He's been through enough. No sign of Catherine. She's not coming.
Hello, Mr. Conway.
Mr. Morgan, how are you?
As well as can be expected, I suppose. I have to say I wasn't expecting you so soon.
I apologize. I thought you might want an update regarding Shirley Downs.
Of course, yes. Why don't you step inside for a moment and, well, please come in. You can leave your things down there if you like.
Thank you.
Please. You were saying?
Yes. In short, it went well.
She confessed?
Not to all of it, but I have reason to believe she's confessing right now in police custody. She confessed to hitting you over the head and to pretending she was attacked. We found the weapon and, well, the list goes on.
What about my daughter?
She refused to admit it. She was adamant.
But you said she confessed to hitting me.
Well, there's more to the story, I'm afraid. She swears blind that she thought she was hitting Harold Levy.
What? Okay, I don't know what that means.
I agree. It doesn't make any sense.
Where is my daughter, Mr. Conway?
Mr. Morgan, I won't stop until I find her.
I'm sorry. That was unfair of me.
I understand. And it's me who has to apologize. I told you I would find your daughter, and until now I've failed you in that matter.
I don't blame you. You've done all you can. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Please, come and sit through here. Perhaps you'd like a cup of tea, Mr. Conway. It's 2 sugars, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Please, make yourself at home. I'll be back momentarily.
Thank you, I will. Where is Charlotte May's mother, if I'm not intruding? Aren't you married?
That's a very long story, I'm afraid. What about yourself? Isn't there a Mrs. Conway?
Well, that's an even longer story. She would have said that I was married. What exactly is your line of work?
I'm a dentist.
Really? I imagine that pays a good wage.
Well, I'm a dental assistant, if I'm being honest with you, but I'm training to be an anaesthetist, so there's that.
Interesting. Oh, that reminds me, I've brought the brooch back that I found at the crime scene.
Thank you so much. I hope it was of some use.
What on earth? This isn't Charlotte May. It's a different girl altogether. Wearing Charlotte May's brooch. Another girl. Jesus, what is this? Mr. Morgan, what have you done?
I said I hope the brooch was of some use.
Yes. I mean, no. I wasn't able to connect it to anything.
Is everything okay, Mr. Conway? You seem a little out of sorts.
Yes, I'm fine. I don't think I'll have that tea after all. I'm sorry to put you out, but I remembered I have to hand over all of my findings to Catherine. She'll probably be waiting for me.
She was 6 when that picture was taken.
Is that so?
Such an innocent age, wouldn't you say? Charlotte wouldn't have known what real danger was back then. Not like you and I.
Well, we all have to grow up at some point, don't we? You'll excuse me, but I really must.
Are you sure you're okay, Mr. Conway? I can't help but feel your discomfort. Is it something I've done?
Like I said, I'm probably keeping Catherine waiting, is all.
You know, I thought that I was careful enough, but the way you think... You really are very clever, Mr. Conway. To your detriment. It's funny. I spent the past few days wondering who on earth would attack me. I was as confused as everyone else. Turns out it was all just a misunderstanding. Have you ever heard anything so unlikely? I was going to leave town that night. I'd left her in Doe's basement. Things were almost in place. I was putting the rubbish out, and then... well... and then Shirley Downs.
She's still alive, isn't she?
I really am glad you decided to investigate. The mystery was eating me up inside. You know, I watched you work these past few days. Watched as you pulled our neighbours' lives apart piece by piece. Getting to work with you at Shirley's pub and seeing you before that at Lady Doe's house, it was very exciting. It's funny, I felt that if I could just reach out. Of course, I couldn't.
From what I remember, you reached out with your fist.
You almost caught me that night, you know, in Lady Doe's basement. You were so close, but still so far. You know, I've never had to go back and check before. But after you promised me you'd find her, I had to think on my feet. She cried when she saw me. I suppose she was seeing me for the first time in many ways.
She? You mean the girl that, some other poor child you've taken? Is she still alive, the girl? Why did you do this?
Charlotte May was 6 when she... You see, after so many years, well, they stop looking like children, don't they?
Dear God. So she was too old to remind you of the real Charlotte May. And that's why... This really isn't your first time.
The first time I did this, my hands were shaking. I was a mess, Mr. Conway. I'd have been embarrassed just to be in your presence.
You sound as though she means nothing to you.
She means everything to me.
Have you lost your mind?
I think our little talk is over, Mr. Conway. Believe me, I don't want to do this, but you leave me no choice.
I don't think you will kill me. You didn't tie that little girl up for no reason. If you were simply a murderer, you wouldn't have left her alive down there. There has to be something more to you.
What makes you so sure?
I think you wanted to see her as Charlotte May. You wanted to believe it, right up until the end.
Well, you've got it all figured out, haven't you?
What happened to the real Charlotte May?
You have a daughter, Mr. Conway. You know how it is. It's your responsibility. Your duty to protect them, no matter what.
Oh, Tony. What happened?
I must have left the balcony door unlocked. I took my eyes off her for just a second. We lived on the 5th floor.
Tony, I'm so sorry. Perhaps we should talk about it. You can tell me about her. If you let me go, I'm sure
I don't think so, Mr. Conway. I've complimented you on your intellectual prowess. Please don't insult mine.
Fine. Where is the girl now?
She's quite safe.
Where did you take her from? The girl I've been looking for.
St. Mark's Primary. I watched her leaving school. It didn't even have a gate. I'd watched her for a few days as she went to and from the playground. Charlotte used to love to play.
What would the real Charlotte May think of you?
You won't speak her name again.
Do you think she'd be proud of what you've done?
Please, stop.
What about this girl? Everyone's looking for her. You can't get away with this.
Mr. Conway, you've already arrested Shirley. No one is going to find her, and no one is going to find you. Now, please stop. You're beginning to make me rather uncomfortable.
Jesus. You wouldn't want her to remember you this way.
None of that matters. Now please, try to keep still.
Please, don't do this. You're a reasonable man, Mr. Morgan. I know you don't want to do this.
Believe me, I've tried to change what I am, but I can't.
Mr. Morgan, I would very much like to speak with you.
For God's sake. Like father, like daughter. Not a word, Mr. Conway. The anesthesia should kick in shortly.
Hello, Mr. Morgan. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I wondered if I might speak with you and my father.
I'm back here.
Your father? Are you expecting him?
I thought he might already
Catherine,
be
help
here.
me.
He said he was going to talk to you about Shirley
Please
Downs.
don't hurt.
May I come in and talk through our options?
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Okay, that's fine. I can come back tomorrow.
You know what?
It's him.
With everything that's going on, I'm not... Yes.
Catherine, run
I think
away.
that would be a good idea.
Please don't hurt her.
Tomorrow morning.
Save yourself.
Time, perhaps.
If you think
Please
you can wait
help
until
me.
then, I'm sorry to bother you so late.
Please, don't apologise. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Wait.
What is it?
If you haven't seen my father, then why is his camera in the house? And his bag? Mr. Morgan?
Do you know where Catherine is?
Catherine!
Dad, are you okay?
I'm fine. Thank God you are. I thought the worst.
I did too. What happened here? I mean, what on earth did I walk into?
If I'm honest, I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Shirley was telling the truth.
It appears so.
We searched the house. We'd ruled him out.
Is he...
No, he's alive. He's been taken to the station. We want to know if he's done this before.
I'm afraid you won't like the answer.
Oh my God. That could have been you.
It could have been either one of us.
Dad, listen,
No, Catherine, I'm sorry.
I am too. It's funny, I came back tonight because part of me knew I should have listened to you, but I just wanted to prove to myself that I didn't need any help.
The apple hasn't fallen far from the tree. I need to ask, did you find Charlotte May? Is she...
Follow me. Charlotte, this man is Robert Conway. He's been looking for you for days.
Are you okay, my dear? You're safe now. You don't need to be scared anymore. Catherine here is going to take good care of you.
I'll just be a moment. I'll come back. Don't worry. She hasn't said a word since we found her. She thought that Tony Morgan was her real father. She didn't even know that...
It doesn't bear thinking about.
So, what do we do now? She doesn't have a home.
Oh, that reminds me. She was taken from a St. Mark's primary school. There can't be too many of those in the country that have had missing girls.
That's a great place to start. I imagine you'll want to come along and help.
No. Perhaps it's best to leave this up to the professionals.
I'd like it if you were by my side.
I'd like that too.